So wonderful town of Pembroke. Today we have a special guest here, Dr. HealthE. She's here for our press conference to answer some health questions for our college students here. So Dr. HealthE, are you ready for this crowd?
I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Here we go.
HealthE! HealthE! HealthE!
So as I said outside, Dr. HealthE, we have a few health questions for you to answer from our wonderful students in Pembroke.
HealthE! Right here.
Dr. HealthE, I'm trying to develop myself a healthy lifestyle, but I don't know what foods I should stay away from.
Oh, that's a fabulous question. What did you say his name was? Crewneck?
Okay.
Hi, Crewneck. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's a very good question. It's a very important question as well. One of the main things you stay away from is about 3 things. The number one thing is you need to stay away from white sugars because they're depleted of nutrients. And the most important thing is to have nutrient-rich diets. You actually can never get sick if you do not have a body full of toxins or a body that is deficient of nutrients. So you want to eat foods that are high in nutrients. So number 1, avoid white sugars. And they tend to be in everything. There's lots of replacements. You can use honey, you can use cane sugar, you can use palm sugar. There's so many different types.
What about brown sugar?
Brown sugar as well. Stevia is also a good one. So if you want to avoid getting sick or having a hard time, especially in a college environment, you want to avoid white sugars and white flours. Definitely always avoid white rice. A lot of times you want to avoid foods that are depleted of nutrients, and white flours and white sugars and white rice are definitely depleted of nutrients. Another big thing is, and I know this is, a lot of times it's kind of confusing because when you see diet or you see low fat, you assume that maybe this is going to be really good for you, when actually it's actually really bad. So you want to avoid all foods that say low sugars and low fats and diet because they tend to be really high in those white sugars. So great question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that seems to be pretty interesting. Anybody else have any questions?
Right here.
Me. All right, white t-shirt.
Hello, Dr. HealthE.
Hi.
I've been recently having some problems with sleep. Do you have any suggestions on how I could catch up on some?
That's also a really great question, especially for college students. It is really hard to get really good sleep. And I know this is a hard one, so there's a few answers to this. I know this is a hard one, but the number one thing you need to do is reduce the amount of blue light that you have contact with. So, and that means you have to put your phone down about an hour or 2 before you get ready to go to bed. Don't look at your computer, don't look at your phone, and even avoid television or reduce the amount of television you're watching. So that's very, very important to do. Sleeping in a dark room is also very important because as human beings, evolutionarily, when we're in a dark environment, our bodies quickly settle down. But given that we are in a modern time, we tend to leave lights on and have phones beeping and different things that suggest to our bodies that we're supposed to be awake. And so it actually makes it harder for us to sleep well. So definitely you want to reduce the type of amount of light that you're exposed to in the evening. And when you wake up, expose yourself to quite a bit of light. It'll actually make you sleep better later. Drink enough water, that's number 1. That's also very, very good. It'll help your body be hydrated enough to actually get good sleep.
Is there anything you can do to limit light in your room?
You want to get rid of the television. I know that's a hard one, or just turn it off. Make sure it's off during the night and turn your phones off at night. I know that's a hard one for this generation, but it will pay dividends in your health. Great question.
Well, I guess we'll take one more question before our break. Okay, Jane Doe.
Jane Doe.
My roommates, they like to drink pretty much all week. So what are the negative effects that drinking and all that during the week, like binge drinking,
Wow.
happen?
That's an important question, especially once again for college students. And I hope this is helping you guys. Because binge drinking is, of course, as you guys know, very common on college campuses. Many students report, at least probably about 80% of college students report having binge drank at some point, even if it's just one time. And so binge drinking is, of course, not that good for your body. It's pretty bad. So let's try to think about some things and the effects that it has on your body. The biggest thing is your body struggles to metabolize large amounts of alcohol. So of course, when that happens, it causes your body to be depleted of nutrients. And that's, again, one of the worst things you can do for your body is to be nutrient deficient. That's why we get sick. You can't get sick and you can't have illness without a lack of nutrients. And so when you binge drink, it minimizes the nutrients in your body because your body's trying to cope with all the alcohol you put in there. And there's also a very, very recent study done by the International Agency for Research on Cancer that has found that binge drinking, even one time, increases the risk of breast cancer. So you really want to avoid as much as possible.
Save the top tops.
You want to avoid as much as possible binge drinking. And I know in a college environment, it's such the culture that a lot of times people assume that it doesn't have a long-term effect. So I'll just binge drink during college and then I'll be fine for the rest of my life. But actually, it has these very lasting effects. Again, the biggest thing is it depletes your nutrients and it actually increases your risk for cancer. Great questions. I think that's it for today. I have super enjoyed myself and hopefully I'll see you guys again next week.